I'm so excited to be here and participate. Our performance gives me optimism, and what is more important, I communicate with people.
Maria and her colleagues from the non-government organization of women with disabilities, Chirac, was an active participant in the 2-year USAID-supported Empowerment Now project, which was implemented by the Civil Society Development Association, ARGO. The project's primary objective was to improve the social and economic conditions for individuals with disabilities in Kazakhstan. Maria is one of the 609,000 people living with disabilities in Kazakhstan. Over 1/3 of the people with disabilities are women and children. Unfortunately, not everyone like Maria can find jobs and actively participate in mainstream society. Many are isolated and kept on the fringe of society because of stigma and injustice, and women often face double discrimination. ARGO implemented Empowerment Now with 3 partner organizations: NAMIS, the Public Association of Invalids with Higher Education, Chirac, the Association of Women with Disabilities, and the Association of Social Workers and Volunteers. Besides strengthening the capacity of disability-focused organizations, the project sought to change public attitude towards people with disabilities through a national public informational and educational campaign. Olyesa Barashkina, a campaign participant in the Karanganda region, said,
Мастером спорта Республики Казахстан по пауэрлифтингу, занимаю активную жизненную позицию, потому что я мечтаю, чтобы дети, столкнувшиеся с проблемой инвалидности, никогда не отчаивались и всегда знали, что они такие же полноценные члены нашего общества и всего мира в целом. Также я понимаю, что наряду с непониманием нашего общества есть проблема того, что многие дети-инвалиды и их родители сами не готовы открыться и войти в общество с улыбкой на лице, доказав, что я такой же человек, как и все.
More than 2,000 people with disabilities took part in the campaign. Seminars and training about social adaptation of people with disabilities, press conferences, roundtables, and trainings for local journalists, art festivals and exhibitions, encouraging the inclusion of people with disabilities. Through the festivals, talent shows, and events, disabled people demonstrated their limitless abilities and strong-willed spirits.
Если бы я птицей стала, то я бы к небу взлетела, на мир бы с небес посмотрела, на облаках бы себя покачала, в райских садах побывала, как соловей цветам песню спела. Но это мои лишь мечты, прикоснуться к ним трудно. Поможет лишь вера в себя, и все станет доступно.
Many young children with disabilities were also involved. Some had the opportunity to meet prominent opera and dance artists who became mentors and role models. And some young artists will even represent Kazakhstan in international inclusive festivals. Flash mobs and Hug Me street events were held in Almaty. Young people with disabilities in Aktobe met with elders, war veterans, and laborers who shared memories and stories. In Kostanay, 17,000 school children learned about the power of kindness.
I want to emphasize the importance of such activities as they enable people with disabilities to express themselves, talk about their problems, jointly to find solutions. Communicating with young people allows people with disabilities to develop self-confidence, make new friends.
Did the information campaign change citizens' opinions towards people with disabilities? Did the people with disabilities change their opinions towards themselves? Here's what participants of the Inclusive Festival in Ust-Kamenogorsk had to say.
We have decided to do pair dancing, and our next recital has been already scheduled.
I knew that my mom was watching me in the hall, remembering all my trials and challenges, and crying. I am very thankful. My family has been a huge support for me, and they are proud of me.
I first saw him like that. He did everything by himself, which I would normally help him to do. He introduced himself. When his name was called, he went up to the stage by himself to receive his diploma and thank. He turned and bowed to the people at their applause. This is the start of socialization.
Hello, I was impressed from your project. Your project touched me so much. I have always wanted something like this project. You are amazing. If you have an opportunity to involve us, ordinary citizens of Uсть-Kamenogorsk, to help you in organization of similar activities, go ahead. How can this be done? I am an ordinary person and I do not have any special abilities. But maybe you need active people in your team. It will be done without charge.
In my opinion, people with disability are equal citizens. We should not fear the disability of the body of man as much as we should fear the head of one's potential.
The Empowerment Now project drew the public's attention to the problems that people with disabilities face and empowered the public to see people with disabilities as equal and active members of society. A recent survey confirmed that the Kazakhstan society has a positive attitude towards people with disabilities.
Являясь партнером Ассоциации развития гражданского общества «Арго»,
as the head of the organization of people with disabilities, NAMIS, I have seen that the voices of people with disabilities have spoken and society has listened. We are no longer alone and feel supported. It is time for civil society and the government to join together to ratify the UN Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities and put into place legislation so people with disabilities can fully contribute to our society.